Mr. Lee. So another witness, Ibrahim Sini, a superintendent with the Force Intelligence Department, Nigerian Police Force, traced the mobile bill, supposedly in the name of Mr. Lee, Shani, back to its real source. More than do ECOWAS travel document for Miss Shani. Do you see that? Let me see if I can bring that up. See that document? That's a big document. I mean, that's a ECOWAS document, travel document. For somebody we know exists to, but the plan, is to finally possibly go claim the house. Because 750,000 pounds house. How much is 100,000 pounds? 100,000 pounds is like a 200 million naira. So 200 million times 7. 1.4 billion naira. Maybe a roughly of a 1.5 billion naira. Have you only thief? Or a drug addict? No, only thief. We use a property of 1.5 billion naira to settle the debt of 54 million naira. Something is just not right. It's shady. I know some people will be like, they are not surprised, Let's continue. They did the ECOWAS travel document for her. So inquiries with the telecommunications company revealed that the account was actually registered to Mohammed Edewo, the Lagos solicitor connected with the applicant's legal team. State intelligence operatives in Jos were then dispatched to verify the address. They went there physically. Sini testified and confirmed that this address simply did not exist. Oh, fake son, fake cousin. We'll get into that part now. The judge concluded that all the evidence to prove Ms. Talishani's identity were fraudulent. In quote, I do not accept that she was ever a real living person. I do not accept that she therefore died, whether in the hospital or in a mysterious car accident on the road to Abuja. I certainly do not accept that she purchased this property in London in 1993 in her heydays, nor do I accept that Mr. Ayodele Damola is her son or that Mr. Anokwe Obasi is her cousin, the tribunal held. So he added that the evidence showed forgery and deception and struck out the case as an abuse of process. The case has been pursued by others in the name of a person who never existed. The judgment declared. Now, Ozekhome's case collapsed. Remember that Ozekhome is he's at the heart of it. Like, he's the one who wants to take the property. He's the one they want to give the property to, according to his own application, that he is the rightful owner since Mr. Jeremiah Useni or Mr. Ali Shani gave him the property. So Ozekhome, who presented himself in the later stages of the proceedings, argued that the property was transferred to him in 2021 by Mr. Talishani, who he claimed was the true registered owner. Although Useni registered it in the name of Ms. Talishani. He admitted that he had never known Mr. Talishani before January 2019, and that he had no personal knowledge of the original 1993 purchase of the London property or of its management in the years that followed. Instead, he relied on his relationship with Useni, whom he had known for over 2 decades, as both a client and a friend. According to Ozekhome, his acquaintance with Mr. Shani developed after their introduction in 2019. He described Shani as a man from a wealthy family involved in farming cattle, groundnuts, and mangoes, and as a big property guy engaged in commercial dealings. Hey, Ozekhome. Ozekhome stated that he undertook a number of legal matters for him, winning several cases. These services, he said, ranged from advisory work to court appearances. Although pressed, he declined to produce documentary proof of this work, citing the shield of client confidentiality and privilege. The central plank of Ozekhome's evidence related to the transfer of the London property to him in 2021. He insisted that the transfer was a gift from Mr. Shani, given in gratitude for the extensive legal services he had rendered in the 2 years since their introduction. I know you are laughing right now because you can easily see that. Damn it, man. You see, your elite, they are not different from those who are defending Bokwari and his NEPA bill. They are not different from the senior advocate of nuisance who are also defending Tipnumbu and his drug heroin trafficking deal. Yeah? It's just about them getting their own cut from the national cake. So he insisted that the transfer was a gift from Mr. Shani. Ozekhome testified that Shani felt beholden to him, even describing him as a father figure. He denied ever paying the £500,000 mentioned in Shani's statement or any other sum in cash. Instead, he argued that the property was transferred to him as recognition that the value of his legal services exceeded that amount. Okay, possibly. It's 1.5 billion naira in Nigeria. I don't think that is too much for a senior advocate of a nuisance. I mean, they are billing them more. Tifnubu paid billions to the guys who made his drug dealing, heroin trafficking evidence never to see the light of the day in the court, in Nigerian courts. So yeah, maybe the chicken change. Baba, but now looted fund they take by him. That is why nobody can boldly come out and say I am the owner. Even if they did, who's going to actually do anything to them? Anyway, Ozekhome. So, but the tribunal found this story equally false. Mr. Talishani did not purchase this property himself in 1993, and so had no title of his own to pass to the respondent, the judge ruled. The court said the narrative advanced by Ozekhome and supported by his son amounted to a contrived story, invented in an attempt to provide a plausible reason for the transfer. Something that now that judge they go settle in Nigeria, and Ozekhome go write it as one of his achievements in court. I have fought property law in the UK, in America, in all those places. I have worked as a lawyer. I thought lawyer for who? For your corrupt friends, for your criminal friends. Most of them that you've always like been shielding from the real, in order for them to go and commit more crimes. So that all of us can then become motivational speaker. Why our leaders need to do the right thing. We need leadership who love this country. We don't need people who are so selfish. Meanwhile, all of them did the same WhatsApp group. Robbing us. Rubbing it on our faces, right? But the mumus. Here, they said the real Shani is. So the tribunal accepted that a man named Mr. Talishani exists and holds a genuine Nigerian passport, but found his claim of buying a London property in 1993 at age 20 to be implausible and unproven. Did you hear me? Mr. Chani, with the document they presented, was 20-year-old young man in 1993 when he coughed out that amount of money to buy property in London. Mr. Chani, 20-year-old, high right. Anyway, so Chani, who testified as, they don't go find Mr. Chani. So Chani, who testified as Ozekhome's witness, had claimed in his evidence that he bought it with his own money as an investment and appointed Useni to manage it from the start. However, the tribunal held that his account lacked detail, supporting documents, and credibility, and that his explanations, claiming wealth from cattle and mango sales, were unconvincing. Like, how many mango you think he will sell for that time? We say, oh, like, I don't know, like cattle and mango. Damn it, Nigerian lawyers. Damn. They don't go cook everything, say, when we get to that UK tribunal, you just say that, okay, don't worry, I will back it up with some legal quotes. Some legal quotes. Say, okay, sir, I'll do that. You know. Anyway, however, said his stated purchase price conflicted with documentary evidence showing the property was first bought in 1993 by one Phillips Bincan for £110,000. Shannon later altered his story, but could not reconcile the discrepancies. His testimony slashed with Useni's own statement that they only met years later, with Shannon approaching him in 2010 to manage the property. You see the conflicting there, right? It's obvious it's fake, right? So the tribunal therefore concluded that Shannon had nothing to do with the 1993 purchase. Nothing. So here is the real story. And this is the property I'll show you. Useni used false name to buy the property. That's the real story. Useni was eventually called to testify as a witness. The retired general, who died in January 2025, gave video testimony in June 2024, confirming that he, not anyone called Talishani, bought the property in 1993. I owned it. I bought the property before I gave it to someone to run. I paid the deposit, then bit by bit, I bought it. It is my property. He told the court, here is the property, the house, that is now £740,000 in value. I said, so the property is 76 Randall Avenue in London, right? So here is the conclusion I would say. The tribunal noted that Useni's evidence was consistent with documents showing the 1993 purchaser as Phillips Bincan, another alias, another fake name. The tribunal concluded that the London property was purchased by Useni, who was also a Minister of Transport under Ibrahim Babangida, and not the man claiming to be Mr. Talishani. Although the property was registered under the name Talishani, the tribunal held that evidence from a Jersey court case showed that Useni had the practice of using false or coded names, such as Tim Chani, for bank accounts and companies. The court held that the similarity of names and timing strongly supported the findings that Useni deliberately used the false name Talishani to register the property. The tribunal ruled that since Mr. Talishani had no legal title to transfer London property to Ozekhome, the chief land registrar must cancel Ozekhome's application to be registered as proprietor. The evidence showed Useni, who was the real owner of the property, had directed the transfer to Ozekhome, of course. The tribunal rejected shifting claims by Ozekhome and Shani about consideration for the transfer, ranging from cash payment to legal services worth over £500,000 to gifts of property to a gesture of gratitude, finding them contradictory, implausible, and fabricated. So the court concluded that Shani was merely a conduit used by Useni, who had registered the property in the false name Talishani in 1993, and therefore Shani could not pass ownership to Ozekhome. So sorry. As to precisely why General Useni chose to direct this transfer to the respondent, I do not need to, and indeed cannot, make detailed findings. I consider that it is highly possible that it was in satisfaction of some debt or favor owed. So, end story, or the end of story. They will loot in Nigeria, and some of this money have been lost to some of these countries where these properties are, hidden, or some of these bank accounts are never to be known from the money they stole from their people in Nigeria. When everybody laments about Nigeria is a poverty country, Nigeria is poor, this or that, the criminals from 1990s, they are not different from the criminals from the 1980s. Same, not different from the criminals from the 1970s. It's just that they become more and more notorious, and they gain notoriety over time. And the victims are still pretty much the same. Nigerians. Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Idris, are you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good. Interesting, sir.
Brilliant. Please, go on.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for everything that you've been doing, sir. And we really appreciate you for your exposure. God continue to bless your wisdom. So I want to start from the last one first you mentioned now, which is Talishani. This is just one out of 100 that happens in Nigeria currently because the politician, or let me say,
that reminds me of something, right? When you look at the Yahoo
okay.
boys, right?
Yes, exactly.
Tend to have all of their kind of like their plays and all that. But if you pay attention very well, those Yahoo boys making themselves think they are this, that they are not as slick as they are criminal politicians who can move billions, right? Under fake name, under fake anything, and they will still attend the Jumat on Friday. And they will still attend the Thanksgiving on Sunday to go and do praise and worship. But yet they've moved fortune out of the country under false name to that you can't even imagine. Go on.
You see, what I said is that you normally say something else. They are not even politicians. They are politicians. So they are thieves. And they are also being tricky at the same time. Because, for example, I believe in the Western world. I don't think you need huge sum of money to enter any election. And moreover, even for you to enter any position, government position, you are only going there to serve people. You are not there to embezzle money. But it is in Nigeria that we see it as a career. Just like every other professional career, we see politicians as a career. You see someone that has spent over 10, 20, 30 years. Look at the likes of the former Lawan, this former Senate president. He has been in the position for over God knows when. And the likes of many others, they are still there and they keep embezzling money. They keep embezzling. For you to enter any politics, you have to go and lend a lot of money. I know a lot of politicians that, as of today, sir, before they can enter any position, they've lent a lot of money. Okay, look at the likes of this. I saw a post recently, I think today, about this Anambra APC governor candidate. That's Nicholas Ukachukwu something. He was embarrassed because he was embarrassed. It's on social media. So one public.
I think it's the APC candidate.
APC governorship candidate. That's Nicholas Ukachukwu something. He was embarrassed. He allegedly won something of 1 billion.
They didn't say what he bought from them now.
You and I know that they are all collecting this money just for them to buy themselves some ways into the elected position. And once they enter the position, the first 2 or 3 years, they are going to amass some wealth that they're going to use to pay back. Now, you that you are collecting crumbs, you're collecting 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira. You are saying it is my inheritance of my forefathers that I'm collecting from them. You are eating. Don't you know that once they enter, they will make sure they accumulate all the money they need to. And now, the funniest part is even when they are trying to leave, they are going to make sure that they draft some draconian law that's going to make sure that it's going to till they die. They are still going to be amassing wealth. Look at the likes of Abacha. Look at the likes of Babangida. Their family can never be poor. And now they are not in power. And yet, till tomorrow, they are still going to be rich. So this country, I keep saying that the last thing that the reality of a bad thing that's going to happen to us again is if Tinubu enter again the next election. But the fact remains that Maiyegun, if the election comes today, all those people that are still crying foul, they are still going to vote for this person just because of sentimental or just because of this tribalism, ethnicity, and this and that. Oh, Samaibu, I have been advocating to people that the only Laudrin can 2026 is going to be the worst year again. Samaibu, why is that every year is like a worst, just like Joba, just like the time of Tinubu, I mean the time of what we call it, Buhari, it is even good though. Meanwhile, it is even rubbish then, but God though, even just like they just like
you know what? Whatever you think you are going through under Tifnumbu right now,